Hey everyone, I'm Audrey from Audrienne Health, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I've got a whole new wave of content coming your way, all geared with the intention of helping you support your mood, your anxiety from the inside out with a holistic approach, so mind body approach, okay? And I want to talk to you guys about something today that can be a little bit controversial, but I want you to hang with me. The topic for today is why I believe that my crippling anxiety that I had for the better part of my adult life actually served a really good purpose in my life. Now, that concept can be really, really triggering for some people. So I'm so sorry if you're here watching this and you're feeling that. I love you and I'm sorry, but hang on with me because I want to see if I can bring you over into my camp. Now, if you're on the other side of the fence and you're hearing that and that's exciting you, keep watching too. So I want you to know something. I know what it feels like to have crippling, debilitating anxiety to the point where my entire life was on hold. I know what it feels like to literally be on this floor right here where I'm standing just a few short years ago, head in my hands, a total mess, uncontrollably crying, feeling helpless, feeling frankly pretty pathetic, and feeling so overwhelmed with my life that even day-to-day chores like making myself food, getting dressed, or leaving the house were too much to bear. So I want you to know that I know what that feels like, and that's the whole reason that I started getting on social media, that I started the business that I have today, is to help people overcome their anxiety with a natural mind-body approach. So that's why we're here today. And just keep in mind there's a lot coming your way on the subject. So if holistic anxiety and mood support, both from a physical and a spiritual perspective, excites you, please hit that subscribe button, click the little bell. I'm not sure which direction it's in. Click the bell and make sure that you are getting notifications when I release new content because it's really going to help you and it's really geared to support you. So keep that in mind. Now, let's get to the subject at hand. Why can anxiety be used for good? Now, the truth of the matter is, when I was anxious, as I mentioned, let's flash back to me here on this floor with my head in my hands, no idea who to call, no idea what to do, calling out of work, excessively on the verge of losing my job, in mountains of credit card debt, dealing with debilitating migraines, acne, adult diagnosed ADHD, and of course, that is all wrapped up in the pretty bow of anxiety, having no idea how to just feel better on a daily basis, let alone all of the things that I felt like I should be accomplishing in my life, earning more money, perhaps starting a business one day, finding the right relationship, just being generally fulfilled, if you want to make it simple. I thought that I had all of these things I needed to do, and yet when you have anxiety, it's the day-to-day things that are so impossible, that are such a mammoth effort, and those big, far-off goals of how you'd like your life to look have to be put on hold. So I know what it feels like to put your life on hold, because when you're dealing with a serious health obstacle or mental mood disorder, what have you, nothing else matters. So this is your number one goal, because I promise you, when you can overcome your anxiety and your mood disorders and you can get into a better place, everything else that you want in your life is just gonna magnetize to you. It's just gonna come with so much ease. So that's why I'm here today. Okay? So there's usually crumbs. Our body leaves crumbs. And just like physical symptoms, so remember the eczema, the acne, what have you, my migraines, if you're like me, our body also leaves emotional crumbs, emotional symptoms that can be a direct result of what's going on inside. It's like your body's trying to raise a flag and say, hey, pay attention to me. This isn't working. We're not functioning well on the inside. We need more support from you. We need more nutrition. We need more rest. We need more water. We need more time outside. Those symptoms that you have, both physical and emotional, are your body's way of saying, hey, pay attention to me. I need better care. Okay, so when you're experiencing a symptom like anxiety, I want you to understand, okay, I want you to start to think about, hey, where can I make improvements? All right? And if you already feel like you've made all of the improvements, we'll save that discussion for later. But for most of us, there's always a reason why we're anxious, okay? So if I know that the way I was treating my body was total crap, I was getting really anxious. That was one of my body's many ways of waving a red emergency flag at me to get my attention. And so what did I have to do when I hit my bottom point, my low point? I had to change the way I fed and I treated my body, starting from square one. I'm talking about learning how to chew my food, and how to drink enough water. And all of that has stemmed into the last probably 4 to 5 years of my education and my work, understanding what makes the body tick and what creates a good mood. Now, when I talk about a good mood, I'm not saying you need to be high every moment of the day. No, you're going to have a flux of emotions. You are a human being, okay? That's normal. But what I mean is your homeostasis, your baseline is much higher. And you have the tools to help support when you have those dips. But your baseline is higher, your optimism is higher, your energy is higher, and generally speaking, your mood is of a higher, happier nature. Doesn't mean we're not going to have normal ebbs and flows. And so the bottom line, the message that I want you to take away today is that where are the areas in your life, if you were really honest with yourself, that you know that you can improve? I'm certain that most of you watching this video aren't sleeping enough, or eating a lot of refined carbohydrates and sugar and caffeine, maybe going for long periods of time without eating. Maybe you've subjected yourself to the intermittent fasting thing, thinking that you were doing something great, which in some circumstances it can be, but not necessarily for those of us with anxiety. So are you sleeping enough? Are you eating enough? And are you listening to your intuition? Sometimes anxiety isn't just about, the physical things going on in our body, although a lot of the times they are. But sometimes it's also about unmet potential that we know that we have a desire and a craving to meet. But yet, if we're not feeling good enough, if we're not feeling energized enough, if we're not feeling optimistic or confident enough, it's going to be really hard to meet those potentials. So my message to you today is where are the areas in your life where you honestly think that you could improve your care on a mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual level? And I'm sure you're going to come up with plenty of them. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. You can start with whatever feels the easiest and the one thing that you can implement today. Because for me, my anxiety taught me supreme self-care. It endowed me with a superior relationship to self on all levels. And only from that place was I able to create things for myself and for my life confidently and effectively. So if you're feeling anxious and you're watching this video, I want you to know that I've been there and I understand what you're going through, and I'm wrapping my arms around you. And this is why I'm standing in front of this camera right now. But I want you to be honest with yourself. Are there areas where you can make improvements? And I know that there are. Something about the way that you're eating. Are you drinking enough water? Are you drinking too much coffee? Are you eating too many processed, refined foods? Are you sleeping enough? Are you spending enough time outside? And that is why I believe that anxiety in some cases can be a good thing, because when it gets painful enough, guess what? That is when we are finally encouraged and uncomfortable enough to make positive changes for ourselves, to lead us down a better path. If you weren't uncomfortable, tell me, what changes would you make in your life? The only thing most of the time that makes us move is discomfort. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish you didn't have to be uncomfortable to want to move. It's kind of the way we're designed, right? If I'm sitting in the hot sun and I start sweating, I might be getting a sunburn, but I'm also going to get up and move into the shade, aren't I? So keep an open mind with your anxiety, with your mood, and trust that, as difficult as it can be, there's a lot to be learned here. A superior relationship to self, an evolution of you. So let me know how you feel about this message. There's going to be so much more coming your way. So if it feels right, if you want to know and be made aware of everything that I put out regarding holistic anxiety support, please click that subscribe button below, and the bell button, and all of the things. I'm still getting used to this. Furthermore, if you want to go a little bit deeper and you want to know my top 3 mistakes that I've seen all of the women in my practice make time and time and again, they're actually very subtle, that you would not be expecting, click the link below. I'm going to be happy to share them with you. Now, on that note, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Keep an eye out for more to come. Reach out with any questions. I genuinely am here to serve and to help. And there's going to be a lot coming your way, so get excited. All right? Have a good day, you guys. Love you.